in the airwaves this week. Coming back with another episode of the Captain and Madden Show. A little bit of Ballroom Blitz from the Wayne's World soundtrack to start us off. And we can light our firecrackers with that one. 4th of July episode, guys. Captain and Madden Show. Mike Madden on this end, setting things up and producing. And the captain, Michael Corby. Captain, happy 4th of July, my friend.
Hey, I always like to call it Michael Corby, a.k.a. the Captain, Birthday Eve.
Birthday Eve, yes. This is your birthday eve.
The entire country sets off fireworks in anticipation of my birth. I've always, every year I'm always very touched when everybody gets around, takes a day off of work, business is closed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All in honor of the day before my birthday.
The day before your birthday. I mean, year after year, it comes out as a more extravagant.
Almost as good as
it's almost, yeah.
Almost as good as Christmas Eve. I'll succeed. I'll take the number 2 to Jesus.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, 4th of July is.
I'll give him his. Whatever. Yeah. He's got Santa. I don't have. I don't nearly have as good as music as his birthday does. So. Well, I'll give him.
Could Uncle Sam be your Santa Claus? Because it's America's birthday.
I'd almost rather Sam the Eagle as my.
Okay, that's a great substitution. I'm on board with that. So yes, Sam the Eagle. What a
before we get into our topic today, and you're going to introduce the topic, obviously.
Of course, yeah.
But we are mentioning 4th of July.
Yes.
Anybody that's out there, I want you to take your left hand and your right hand and put them out in front of your face.
Okay.
And I want you to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. 10 fingers. Now on July 5th, I want you to be able to sit there and go and count to 10. Oh. Don't play with fireworks. Don't do anything stupid. Let's have a great 4th of July, but also a safe 4th of July.
Keep all your digits.
And nobody blowing off their fingers.
Okay. All right. I mean, it's
that's my PSA.
That's your public service announcement. So tonight, as everybody's listening, because everybody does just listen to this show like first thing in the morning. That's the feedback that I get. That they're like, hey, the second that it comes on, I put it on. I normally get to work on Friday late, so on this 4th of July, a lot of people are off work. They can say, I can just re-listen to this episode and the potential playlists that are made about this episode over and over again to my heart's content.
Put it on the speakers as you're out cleaning off the patio, getting ready for a 4th of July barbecue. Let your neighbors listen to the magic that comes out of Mr. Madden and my voice.
That's your captain speaking, by the way. It's his birthday eve, so if there's any...
Put it on the speakers. Blast it loud. Louder than the Firecracker 500.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, is the Firecracker 500 this year again? Or are they... that's on terrestrial radio, so I doubt it, right?
I don't know.
Okay.
They probably still do it. They probably have a recording of Scotzo.
Some of the songs that are on this list. So we're back to fictitious bands in movies. Last week, we took you through the boob tube and did the TV bands, and now we have the more fertile grounds of fictitious movie bands. Since it's your birthday, we have commiserated and collaborated. This is the captain's top 10. This is almost like the Firecracker 500, except only one fifth of it. So it's the top 10 movie-based fictional bands according to you. We will talk about the movies themselves, what went into the band, some of their aesthetics. So I will, I'll bounce some ideas off of you, and we'll have some fun interplay. But you have come up with your top 10. We are dying to hear it. We, the listeners. I'm being a listener today. So, do you want to start? Are you going to go bottom to top? You want to just go in whatever order you feel?
We'll probably go. I'll go 10-1.
Count them down. All right. This is a Casey. By the way, shout out to Casey Kasem.
Hate to be the guy, but if I'm doing 10 of 500 would be 1/50th.
1/50. Okay. All right. Not a math podcast.
I know math is. That's why we got into podcasting, so we didn't have to do math.
Not a path.
I was told there would be no math.
Well, I mean, listen, it's. But now here we go. Number 10.
Well, I would just like to say before we get into our countdown.
All right.
I think I kind of insinuated at the end of last week's episode when we were talking about TVs. I would say out of each medium, I'm more of a movie guy.
Of course you are.
And nothing entertains me more than whether it's a documentary about a real band or when somebody cleverly comes up with an idea based around a fictional band.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Love music, love movies. Anytime you can combine the two of them, you got me. I'm your demographic.
Listen, Hollywood.
So, yes. So, a movie that was very much based around music. It was based, I believe it was on a book. And that would be from the movie High Fidelity.
Yes.
The band is Barry Jive and the Uptown Five, a.k.a. Sonic Death Monkey, a.k.a. Kathleen Turner Overdrive.
Overdrive, yes.
Towards the end of the movie, they play Jack Black and his band.
The Five.
Do a cover, and the Five.
Mm-hmm.
The Uptown Five. Do a Let's Get It On by Marvin Gaye.
Yes, they do.
The movie, as the movie kind of ends and outros. This, if you've listened to prior episodes, when we talked about this celebrities we don't like, when we went back to the Planet of Hate. Jack Black was on my list of celebrities I do not like.
That's true.
But I did mention in there that there was a period where I thought Jack Black was funny and
worthwhile.
Worthwhile. This is when Jack Black was in his. He wasn't dead to me at this point.
Okay, all right.
This unfortunately, this springboarded him into. He's going to be the next outrageous funny guy. He had a nice supporting role in this movie. He had, the scenes that he's in, he steals it.
Oh, it's Steven Steeler. Yeah.
But in a movie based on, they work at a music store. I know that appeals to you and I.
Yes.
Having worked in a music store
at the time, we were working in music stores.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's a lot of hey, I'm gonna sell 5 copies of this
the Beta Band
by playing it. The Beta Band.
Go for it.
But me and you have done that with any various type of.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Hey, I'm gonna play this, and I'll bet you I get somebody.
Bet you get somebody to say.
I bet you I could get a couple people to buy this record by playing it.
Yep.
There's a cameo by Springsteen in it. He's always talking about top 5. I believe that's what Top 5 Records is the name of his label that he eventually starts.
That's right. That was the record release party for his act was at the club when Sonic Death Monkey was originally built.
DJ Rob, I think he was billed as. So I always enjoyed the fact that they were constantly changing the name of the band. And to the fact of that, when they do get announced, they get announced as one of the older names, and he has to correct Rob, a.k.a. John Cusack, and be like, we were Sonic Death Monkey. We are now Barry Jive in the Uptown Five. So I always enjoyed that kind of gag was that they're always. It's kind of like a thing with any. If you know anybody who's ever been in a band, it's like, oh well, our bass player left. We got a new bass player, so we decided to change our name.
We got to change the name of the band.
Changing the name is like a fun.
Well, it's a rite of passage.
Like a run. Yeah. To the point where you're always like you run into somebody like, hey, you still? What are you guys called now? Like,
yeah.
So yeah, that
Train
would be
wreck.
my yeah.
Well,
launch.
I think don't bury the lead, because so not only do they rename the band Barry Jive and the Uptown Five, which is a reference to a Steely Dan song, by the way. They end up playing, like, Rob's so worried that, like, everybody's going to walk out because it's going to be this, like, punk rock or death metal, like, fucking, because Barry's a maniac, and they just think it's going to be, like, nonsense music, and they end up playing Let's Get It On, a spectacular cover of Let's Get It On by Marvin Gaye, which was the John Cusack and his girlfriend in the movie. That was their song. So it was a nice little sort of right turn, or a like a red herring, if you want to say, when they did change the name of the band. So that's another part that I sort of like. I remember like seeing this in the theater and being like, wow, like that, that's a nice cherry on top at the end of the movie to see them playing like this, kind of like straightforward soulful cover, and then Jack Black, like, kind of putting his own spin on it and scatting and kind of selling it. So that's a very good one to start off your list.
Also, I was always mad that I never thought of Kathleen Turner Overdrive.
So there was another that was actually, I can't remember the name of the band.
Well, Bachman Turner Overdrive.
But somebody's going to correct me.
It's a play on that.
Because there was an EP that either an indie rock band or like a proto grunge band in the 90s did an EP, and they released it under the name of Kathleen Turner Overdrive. I want to say it was like somebody like Driving and Crying. I'll look it up and I'll bring it. But that was sort of that was a borrowed joke from a real band that did put out an EP under the name Kathleen Turner Overdrive. So
is that like when the Black Crowes would play surprise shows? They would always bill it as Mr. Crow's Garden.
Mr. Crow's, right? Yeah, I mean,
which was like their original name or whatever.
Yeah.
So it was like, oh, if you're a historian of the band, if you see that on a marquee somewhere, that actual Black Crowes are playing somewhere, usually at a small club.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, or in preparation for a tour. Can't think. Okay, so what's next on your list?
Do you want me to stretch a little as you try to do some background research on Kathleen Turner Overdrive?
No, I'll look this up and I'll jump in when I need to.
All right.
So actually, hold on. Before you even go that far, I am seeing a Reddit post here that says Kathleen Turner Overdrive was an Atlanta punk band in the early 90s.
There you go. So in my top 10, coming in at number 9.
Number nine.
From the 90s movie Singles, the band is Citizen Dick.
Okay.
With their hit song Touch Me, I'm Dick.
Touch Me, I'm Dick. Yes.
Which, a little backdrop, it was a reference, or it was actually a Mudhoney song that was called Touch Me, I'm Sick, which the band re-recorded for this fictional band that was their like hit song or whatever. So anytime the band played, like if there was a scene where the band was playing somewhere, you would hear that in the background.
Yeah.
The thing that was always kind of funny being a Pearl Jam fan was that it was a 3-piece band with Eddie Vedder on drums, Jeff Ament on bass, and Matt Dillon was the singer/guitar player.
That's right. Yes. Yes.
Matt Dillon's character would get kind of, I guess, shit on in the press or reviews. They always um, they were whoever did like a local review of either their album that they put out or a show. It seemed like they always took shots at him,
Mm-hmm.
but then we were like, oh, but they were backed up pretty admirably by Eddie Vedder on drums and Jeff on
Yeah.
bass, which led to of course the line of that doesn't matter, man, because we're loved in Portland and in Belgium.
Belgium, right?
Again, a movie that it's based in Seattle during the hype of Seattle, and I hate to say the word grunge, but
Well, that was what it was. Yeah.
I know, but it's like somebody who gets all mad when you say hair metal. I
Okay.
get it.
All right.
Like it was, grunge, but it was.
Why? Yeah. Why do we put have to put a
Why do you have
aesthetic
to
to
label it?
it?
But yeah, at the time, like Seattle had a pretty popular music scene, and which spawned, Nirvana, Pearl Jam,
Yeah. Can't fight it.
Alice in Chains, Soundgarden. Those bands make appearances in the movie. The music is used throughout the movie. There would be scenes where they were randomly at a club and Soundgarden's doing a song, they're on stage, or Alice in Chains is on stage, which really wasn't that far-fetched. I mean, that's before the music scene blew up.
Yeah, that's how they would.
There's people have plenty of posters that are like, hey, tonight at such and such club, and it's literally like Alice in Chains and Soundgarden playing a show together.
Yeah, they're usually.
So it wasn't that far-fetched that the Melvins are the headliners with Nirvana and Mudhoney as the opening bands.
Yeah, or Tad or any of those other like low-level bands were sort of like sharing bills with like what would be the elite bands. But are there any other in that movie? And I haven't seen it in such a long time. Maybe I have to revisit it. Any other fictional bands in there, or was it basically like Citizen Dick, and then it's like
Citizen Dick was like
they're all the
lead,
rest of them are like real bands, right?
The rest of it was real bands. They were kind of like the fictional because it was like, Matt Dillon, not Matt Damon.
Mm-hmm.
Matt Dillon was
right.
like, he really couldn't sing or play guitar, so they had him. I had heard, I don't know if it's fact or that originally it was supposed to be Chris Cornell
playing
audition the Matt Dillon part.
Really? Okay.
So the band would have been Cornell, Vedder, and Ahmed.
Wow.
But I guess the studio there at the time, the soundtrack was just as the scene was. If it was another year later, they probably would have totally went for it.
Mm-hmm.
But the scene itself hadn't blown up just yet. So the fact that they wanted to give one of the lead roles to a lead singer of a band that nobody really had heard of, they felt like they needed kind of a star or a bankable person. Because the rest of the cast, I mean, Bridget Fonda and Scott Campbell were, mid-level,
Campbell Scott.
actors at the time.
Yeah.
Campbell Scott, sorry. So, when they actually casted Matt Dillon as the part of the lead singer of Citizen Dick, he was the biggest name in the movie. So it was kind of like, all right, here's somebody that we can actually bank on that will kind of give this movie some credit or whatever. So, but it would have been interesting, foresight that Cornell would have played the lead singer of the fictional band Citizen Dick.
And that the Citizen Dick band did make it onto the. They made it onto the soundtrack. You said, right?
It's on like a variation. The original soundtrack that came out, no, they weren't.
Oh, okay.
But I think there's been like 10-year or 15-year like
okay. So
anniversary editions where they added it on. I don't think Mudhoney, they were cool with it being used in the movie and stuff, their version and stuff, but I don't think they really wanted it out there because they were trying to make it as a real. They didn't want people coming to their shows to go and, hey man, play that.
Touch Me I'm Sick.
Song.
Touch Me
no,
I'm Dick.
dude, it's called Touch Me I'm Sick. We're not, or I'm sure there was like this. I don't want to play somewhere and like have 200 people show up with Citizen Dick shirts.
Yeah, no,
or whatever. They were. So yeah, a movie that was kind of cool. That was based, for me, that was like high school. That was, everything, overnight. Fucking Nirvana was like went from like nobody knew who the hell they were to, now all of a sudden they're the biggest band in the world.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I
Made a
got to
jump.
kind of live through it. So you get a movie that's based on, with Seattle and those bands as a background character in it. Um, definitely going to catch my attention. And yeah, touch me, I'm Dick.
There you go. All right. We go to number 8. Number 8.
Number number 8. The movie I believe came out in '83. It's called Eddie and the Cruisers,
Okay. Right.
and then the
Right.
band is Eddie and the Cruisers. But the music was actually performed by John Cafferty and the Beaver Brown Band.
That's true. Yes.
Um, but which I think, well, there was at least 2 songs in the movie that were like hits, and still to this day,
Dark Side, right?
On the Dark Side,
Mm-hmm.
and then Tender Years, I think, was kind of like a
Okay. All right.
semi hit. I mean, you hear it,
Okay.
but it was weird because it was like it was like a story of Elvis, but then they kind of wanted to cash in on the popularity of Springsteen.
Yes.
Because the band was kind of like I hate to say it, but the band was kind of like a rip-off of the E Street Band.
They certainly were.
The
Often
sound
mistaken
and
for
everything.
them. Yeah.
Yes. It's an all-white band. We got a black guy playing saxophone.
Yeah. Blue collar.
Blue collar. The guy, rolls up. He wears T-shirts with, that's rolled up, the sleeves rolled up. Plays a Fender.
Yeah.
It was kind of the biggest star, I guess, in this would be Tom Berenger, who
Mhm.
plays the eventual piano player, who is the guy who writes all the words. Him and Eddie are words and music. I think that was one of the things from the movie, but it's filmed down at different locations down in the Jersey Shore. The whole thing is, Eddie and the Cruisers were like the biggest band at the time, and then there's all these reports that he fakes his death.
Yes.
Because he didn't, it was getting too much for him, and then that's the whole story, is that there's supposedly these lost tapes that everybody's looking for, that of music that Eddie and the Cruisers recorded before Eddie supposedly passed
His demise.
along.
Mhm.
His demise. But yeah, there's a couple of scenes in the movie where the band mimics or whatever the music by John Cafferty and the Beaver Brown Band.
Yeah.
But if you're, especially for us growing up in the area, it wasn't all that. You looked at some of the scenes, it's like, hey, I've probably been in that place, or that looks just like, that looks like, all right, they take a restaurant and then they move all the tables out of the way and the band plays.
Yeah. Right. Right.
You know,
the
I
set
mean,
dressing was
not all
familiar for sure.
Very familiar to anybody who hangs out or hung out at the Jersey Shore and went to go see bands. But yeah, I think Cafferty still makes his regular appearance at at least once or twice a year at the Stone Pony.
Okay.
And he basically played. Unfortunately, they did make a sequel.
I was going to ask, like
Eddie and the Cruisers.
Yeah, this one I do remember there being a 2,
and that was bad.
Okay.
But he did contribute some more music for the sequel. So if you're a fan of those songs or whatever, if you go and see them, that pretty much probably makes most of his set was the music he wrote for the fictional band Eddie and the Cruisers. So.
Right, and remember, it's not Bruce Springsteen.
No, it's not.
Right.
It's certainly, and it's not even John. It's not even Southside Johnny.
Not even. No.
Maybe John Eddie.
Yeah.
Although I don't remember any scenes where Michael Pare pours a Poland Spring bottle on him.
Poland Spring bottle. Also, like, there are people that are looking for his music, his lost tapes. Nobody would be looking for John Eddie's lost tapes. They were trying to. They were trying to make them.
They're trying to put the stuff that he released and tried to lose them. Give me every copy of Jungle Boy. I'm going to throw this into the bottom of the ocean.
Can I really lose this for sure? All right, that's Eddie and the Cruisers. All right, number 7.
Number 7. One of my favorite movies, comedies. Coming to America. It's probably Eddie Murphy is a genius. This is, I would say, the peak of his comedic genius.
Yep.
It was probably one of the few times where he did he plays different parts in the movie.
It's the first time time he really did it. Yeah.
And it went over very well. One of the characters that Eddie Murphy plays is Randall Watson and Sexual Chocolate.
By the way, you may, as he was introduced, you may know him as Joe the Policeman from the What's Going Down episode of That's My Mama.
Yes. Randy comes out in a beautiful baby blue tux,
ruffle boy too, ruffle shirt,
ruffle boy with backed by the backing band, the Sexual Chocolate, also breaking out the ruffles. He, depending on who you are, he either butchers Whitney Houston.
That boy can really sing.
I believe or I love that boy. He got some talent. But yeah, there's the scene is they're at like this community like charity thing.
It was a Black awareness event. That's what it was.
The Black awareness. Yes. After the swimsuit competition was over, so the swimsuit competition was the opener for Randy Watson and Sexual Chocolate.
Remember, he was a special guest.
Yes.
And Sexual Chocolate is on stage already, not introduced, but Watson does the diligence and says, "Let me introduce my band, Sexual Chocolate, finest band in the land."
In a movie filled with really funny parts, beginning to end, this has seemed, in my opinion, this might be the bit that has lived on as long as the movie.
It may be the best 2 minutes in the movie. I love the movie. Like, Coming to America is a classic. It is. It's. Dare I say, this is like probably Eddie Murphy's best movie in my eyes. And the 2-minute and 45-second part where he is performing "I Believe the Children Are Our Future," the greatest love of all. In front of that crowd, that welcoming, again, smattering of applause at the for the performance, and then the two best parts when he wraps the song up and he stomps his feet and says "Sexual Chocolate," drops the microphone, and then does fingers in the air, point off stage, and exit stage right. It's a work of art.
That along with the guy that works at the Mighty Sharp barbershop, that is like the happiest guy ever. That this guy is up on stage, and he's the only one of as the band intros, he's clapping along, and Randy Watson, "Thank you, sir," acknowledges the one guy that's actually applauding. And then after he does the drop in the microphone and yell, everybody else is in stunned silence except for this guy who's got the biggest grin, and he's applauding again. He's like, "That boy's talented."
That boy's talented. Oh, great scene! If you don't know it, like, God, get your head out of a cloud, my friends. Watch the movie just to catch that point of it. But you can just watch the scene itself on YouTube as a standalone. But holy shit, it's great.
The concept of, all right, Eddie Murphy plays a prince from Africa, an African country, who's in an arranged marriage. He decides to come to America to look for his bride, and he comes to all places, Queens. It's simple, but it's just like
it's a great joke.
When they flip, the globe or whatever, and they pick New York over L.A. and he goes, well, where can we? And they land on the thing of Queens. It's like, oh boy, where this is going to be. You're not going to find a princess in Queens.
great
yeah,
film.
That's the T-shirts, the clip. I mean, it's lived on. I dare say I don't know if I would ever want to spend $40 on it, but the Randy Watson and Sexual Chocolate Tour T-shirt that's made to look like the Michael Jackson Thriller album.
Yeah.
Maybe there's going to be a day where I'm gonna come into Pool Ave one day, and that I'm gonna be wearing that bad boy, and I'm just gonna be like, I don't give a shit. This with the shipping and handling, this is like the best $50 I might have ever spent in my life.
Somebody put Greatest Love of All in the jukebox right now.
Yes.
Stupendous. Great choice. We're on to number 6.
Number 6. Nothing will entertain me more than a group of dipshits who decide to form a band.
Mm-hmm.
And the joke is that they don't realize they're serious about themselves and the music and rock music particularly, and they don't get the idea of like how much of a jackass that they are in real life.
Right.
That is basically the premise of the movie Airheads.
Oh, yeah.
Brandon Fraser, Steve Buscemi, and Adam Sandler make up the Lone Rangers.
That's right.
Which the joke was, you pluralized the Lone Ranger.
Uh-huh. They did wear masks on stage, did they not?
Sandler did.
Sandler, okay, right.
Sandler wore the Lone Ranger mask.
Mm-hmm. Right.
When they did eventually get to perform. It's a 80s 90s comedy filled with rock music kind of jokes. Who did you side in the whole Van Halen split?
Mm-hmm.
And that type of shit. And it's like, oh, he's a cop. He Sammy and the band sold a lot of records. It's like no real rock fan would ever side with Sammy Hagar in this, in the split. But yeah, they break into a radio station and hold everybody hostage with water guns to get their song played because they feel like they're running out of time. They haven't gotten a record contract yet, and it turns into a bigger mess than it. Just simple. We're going to walk in. They're going to play the song or whatever. It turns into a hostage situation. There's tons of like, Farley has an appearance in it. Harold Ramis has an appearance in it.
Yeah.
Stuttering John has a brief moment.
Well, yeah. Michael McKean plays a key role, and what's his name?
Yes.
Who plays the DJ?
Joe
Mantegna. Right. Yeah.
There's a cameo from Lemmy from
Yes,
Motorhead.
yeah, it's a good point. Yep.
The cop is played by Ernie Hudson of Ghostbusters fame.
Right? Yeah.
I'm trying to remember who the one that played the girlfriend. She had like a couple of movies during the late '80s, early. I think she was in that movie School Ties with Brendan Fraser.
Okay, all right.
Maybe they were dating or something, but there's a lot of like, if you watch the movie, there's a lot of like, oh yeah, I know that.
Oh, that guy, right?
Yeah,
Exactly. There's a lot of that guys in it. Yeah.
But
no, it's
the fact of Sandler plays the drums, Buscemi is the bass player, and Brendan Fraser is the guitar player / slinger. There's a lot of like, if you're our age or whatever, there's a lot of references to, different things that happened in the music world. They talk about, what happens if we get arrested, and be like, well, look, we'll do what Ozzy did, man. He got busted for pissing on the Alamo,
right? Yeah, yep.
And then like we're gonna go out on tour or whatever. There's a lot of those that rock music, the 80s, 70s, like I would say like rock legend.
Yes, yeah, a lot of the
stories gets referenced, but it has its funny moments in it. But yeah, the Lone Rangers coming in at number 6.
I like
just
that,
for the fact that they pluralized the Lone Ranger.
Yeah, no, it's blink and you miss it joke. Pretty good. I haven't seen that movie in a long time, but I do remember really liking it the times that I've seen it.
It was a
Comedy Central.
It was a cable Comedy Central played it a lot when it first. HBO played it constantly because, I mean, I think it's a PG-13 movie, so there's reference, but there's not a lot of cursing.
You got a couple masturbation jokes in there.
Yeah, unlike this podcast where
that's true. Yeah,
wall-to-wall cursing.
I know. Oh, we can curse.
Oh, you can fucking curse.
Oh
on
shit!
this.
Yeah.
Nobody's listening.
Okay. Number 5.
So number 6.
Number 5. Oh no, that was number 6.
Right.
We're on number.
That wasn't my number 6.
Number 5.
We're going to number 5.
Top 5.
Number 5. Top 5.
Top 5.
I always fuck up saying this band's name, and I think that's the point. I think that's like the inside joke.
Okay.
But from the movie Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, we are Sex Bomb.
Sex Bomb. Yeah. Oh, you got it right that time.
Yeah. Thank you. Whew. I've been practicing all week.
Sex Bomb. Yes.
It's a movie that, like, at first I was like, I think it took the second. It's kind of a weird concept.
I love this movie, by the way. It's one of the most incredible, at the time that it was out, like one of the most incredibly visual movies.
Yeah,
that was out there for sure.
Because it's like, in a way, it's like a love story. He's trying to get back or impress the girl.
Yeah.
There's scenes where it's like they make it into like a video game where he's fighting what's the guy, Jason Schwartzman.
Well, he's got to go through her evil exes.
It's like all of her all of his exes and stuff, and like, as he's winning, or like the scenes or whatever with the it's like all video game set up and shit, and it's like I said, the first time I didn't know what exactly I was watching, but I knew that I liked it, and then I started to get more of the references and stuff the second time that I started going through. But 3-piece band,
garagey noise punk, I would call it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I forgive the fact that he's playing an acoustic guitar through a fuzz amp.
Oh yeah, fuck ton of distortion.
Yes. First time when they start playing, and I was like, I don't know. At first I was like, oh, that's kind of fucking cheesy, but it grew on me. And every time the girl bangs the sticks and says, "We are Sex Bomb."
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, and then boom. Yeah, and then you have boom,
right into
again, the visuals like comic booky or video gamey looks to it.
Yeah.
Even the rehearsal scenes, like there's a cool way of like almost like visualizing the sound vibrations that are coming out of the amps, or like the way the floor shakes and stuff like that. So it definitely like draws you in and makes it like an immersive situation. If you're paying attention to those, those sort of those visual markers. I don't remember it being like a big hit in the theaters as much as it became like this was the movie. Like once it came out on like DVD or it was on TV a bunch, then it was like you got to check this movie out. There's nothing like it, and at the time there was nothing like it, out there.
I think it also helped with like Michael Cera's popularity. He was in Juno. He was in
That was after Arrested Development and
yeah, like his popularity with Super Bad. I think
right,
like it was
right.
one of those like when he did more, I guess more successful, like it was almost one of those like, oh man, you got to go back and watch this movie that he did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I'm sure it probably did very well with like DVDs, rentals and stuff back in the day when that was a way for people to make money.
Big time, and big cast. When you're thinking like Kieran Culkin, who's won fucking Emmys now, he plays the roommate. Aubrey Plaza, who you don't like, is in here. Anna Kendrick plays Scott's sister. As you said, Schwartzman. You've got Brie Larson is in this cast. Like it's a lot of people that ended up being a lot more famous in probably the 10 years after the movie came out in 2010. So it certainly, Chris Evans has a cameo in it. So it's a lot of fun to watch. Again, the music itself that the Sex Bomb they make, it wouldn't be everybody's favorite, but like it certainly is catchy enough to like make sense. So it's not like, as we were saying last week about some of these TV fictional bands that were like, hey, it's trying to appeal to like teens, so it's going to sound more like a teen pop thing. This was basically like, hey, these are kind of for nerdy-ish, comic book kids or video game nerds, whatever it may be, or people that are just into like the indie rock scene. Like anybody that is sort of in these sort of like clusters of kind of cool counterculture almost. Certainly they were the ones that are recommending it, and then obviously like it took off and became a little bit bigger, and I think they've subsequently put out like, I know they did more comics based on this, and I think like maybe they did an animated series for streaming where they brought back most of the voice actors. So yeah, I mean it's fun. It's a visually pleasing movie. I totally recommend it. I'm blanking on the name of the director right now, but he did a bunch of other stuff that was sort of stylistically. It was Edgar Wright, and he did Baby Driver and a whole bunch of other cool stuff. So yeah, right on. That's a great choice.
Also, one of the guitar player, who the actor is Mark Webber.
Mm-hmm.
I totally forgot about his character's name is Steven Stills.
Yes, that's great. Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, that's Sex Bomb, number 5.
Yeah.
Going into number 4.
Number 4.
This started off as I wouldn't say a skit, but it was a bit, I guess they did on Saturday Night Live. Dan Aykroyd and John Belushi. Mm-hmm. These characters that were lovers of blues music. They came out and performed on an episode, and ultimately they made a movie called The Blues Brothers.
Yes.
Jake Elwood and Juliet Jake. So I have the Blues Brothers at number 4.
Yeah.
Not only were Aykroyd and Belushi, I mean, comedy-wise, were at their peak, because Saturday Night Live was a hit. Belushi was like about to take off.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he had already taken off on the show, but this was like the beginning of him now doing movies.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like him flying away from like, all right, I'm gonna fly out Monday, film till Wednesday, come back, do the show, that type of stuff. But I think one of the things sometimes missed because of Aykroyd and Belushi's like comic chops, the guys that are like the real musicians that are in the background that are part of like of the Blues Brothers. Mm-hmm. I mean, you're talking legendary musicians.
Oh yeah. Steve Cropper,
Donald Duck Dunn.
Yeah.
I mean, these are guys that had played with legends, and the movie is filled with, Ray Charles does does musical scene. Aretha Franklin.
Yep.
I think there's as they're rolling into, I think, Ray's music shop, John Lee Hooker's playing outside.
Yes. Yep.
He's doing Boom Boom Boom, I think, or something, like an old blues classic. Who's the guy?
Cab Calloway. Cab Calloway's part of the.
Cab Calloway does, Orange Whip.
Oh, John
Whip.
Candy.
Orange Whip.
Yeah.
Let's do 3 Orange Whips.
Orange Whip. James. Yeah, there's a scene where James Brown, they're singing in the church. Yeah, I mean, they did the right thing by packing this with as many soul musicians as you can sort of like bring into your production and give them. It's a musical. Bottom line, This is a musical. It's a funny movie, and there's some really memorable lines, and there's some good banter bits between Belushi and Aykroyd and anybody else that's interacting with him. It's legitimately a musical, hands down, and it's one of the best comedy musicals that's ever been created, without question. Like lending the enthusiasm that Belushi and Aykroyd had for playing, those characters on Saturday Night Live, and then branching out to a film in the year that they were like. Belushi, I guess, was already gone from SNL, but this was the year, came out in 80, and Aykroyd was on his way out for Saturday Night Live. So it's basically we're taking our chance now to, broaden our horizons and bring this popular, very wildly popular sketch to a movie screen, then putting out records. I think they had they done an album before they did the movie, or did it kind of coincide with...
I think it coincided because I think they toured too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense. That they would have
one of the records they had was a live album. So I think once they were kind of away from the restraints of Saturday Night Live, I think there was just all right, well, we got this popular, we got these great band, these great musicians, and everybody loves us. Let's
do some.
Let's hit the road.
Yeah, let's do some shows. And
plus, both of them, I think, really dug playing. Belushi was a legitimate. He was a decent. He could have made it as a singer.
Yeah, Aykroyd could play the harp.
And so, that was unfortunately, like any good thing. Years later, they decided to make. I think it was called Blues Brothers 2000.
Less said, the better.
And
no need.
John Goodman. I love John Goodman, but
they brought a lot of people from the original one back. Most of the guys that were in the Blues Brother traveling band were brought back for this too. So.
It's never good when someone says "Oh, how was the movie?" The soundtrack was really good.
Yeah,
where all you're talking about is the music was really good.
Yeah.
So number 4, I have the Blues Jake and Elwood Blues.
Very good. Very
Brothers.
Good. Blues Brothers traveling show. Number 4.
You on the bike. You on the beach. Number 3.
Is it? Wait. Was that 3 or 4? Are we up to 3 already?
Blues Brothers was 4.
4. Okay. All right.
We're up to number 3 now.
Number 3. Moving fast.
Yeah. I absolutely love this movie. I don't know why there's this thing of now people where there's a contingent of people who now shit on Tom Hanks. I have no idea where this came from.
Oh.
And I don't know what it is. But the movie That Thing You Do,
yes,
it's like Shawshank Redemption. It's anytime it's on, no matter what part of the movie I see it on, from that moment on, I'm watching the rest of the movie.
The Wonders. The
Wonders, a.k.a. I Wonder What Happened to the Oneaters.
The Oneaters. Yeah. The Oneaters.
I could have went Captain Keach and Shrimp Shack Shooters.
Listen, they were an influence to the Wonders. You know that.
But yeah, it's a movie. It's a movie based on the '60s. There is a slew of one-hit wonders.
Yeah.
A group of guys or girls or whatever that would get together. They were all trying to be the Beatles, or
just get a song on the
whatever,
radio,
or British,
yeah,
British, and they would have that one hit, and then boom, that was it. You never heard from them, or every time they did a "Where Are They Now?" They're doing anything but whatever music, like. And they based a movie on this where, it's a group of guys that knew each other from the town, high school. Their drummer unfortunately breaks their arm. They get another guy to come in and helps them out. They have a snappy, give me something snappy. I want something called That Thing You Do. It starts getting airplay, or it gets noticed, and off you go.
They also, as you know, it was played for the first time live at that talent show. Going back to the trope of the local talent show is where the fictional band gets its jumping
and
off
they played,
point.
and they were the regular band at a pizzeria.
Yeah, Villa Pianos. Yeah.
Yes.
That's a pizza place by the airport.
Yeah, but it kind of they get signed to a label. They're doing the touring thing. They're playing.
Yep. The stars of the Playtone universe.
And then of course it all comes crashing down, just like every one-hit wonder.
Yep. Couldn't follow it up.
There's just scenes in it that as a music fan and someone who really enjoys the history of pop and rock music, the scene where their song gets played on the radio for the first time, and all of them are kind of like, they know it's going to happen at some point. So everybody's like, they have a little transistor radio with them.
Yeah.
They just don't know when the exact time is. But then when it actually does happen, they all start freaking out. They all try to find each other in this small town.
Yeah.
They wind up all at the appliance store that guy works at, and they're running around and they're screaming and they're turning on all the radios up to full blast. And it's just... it's just one of those scenes that it's iconic. It stays with you.
Yeah, it catches you for sure.
That song is played at least 7, 8, maybe even more than that.
Oh yeah,
and it never really kind of gets old. Doesn't get annoying at all. It's a catchy. It's a catchy '60s.
It's an earworm. It's an absolute earworm. Yeah. And I think what helped
written or co-written by the guy from Fountains of Wayne.
I'll get into that in a minute, but the concept of it. So that's why I think it has. So you've got a little bit of a nostalgia feel to it, right? That the baby boomer generation was like, oh, this is a Tom Hanks movie. We like Tom Hanks, and this is sort of like, it reminds us of the time when we were like teenagers or early 20s, and you would hear a song on the radio and you'd be like, oh, I really love this song and I want to go see that band when they play like in our town. And it definitely has like, there's familiarity of that I guess early to mid 60s scene for like music fans. But you're right, I think you were going to start touching on it. The song itself, That Thing You Do, co-written by Adam Schlesinger from Fountains of Wayne, the late Adam Schlesinger from Fountains of Wayne. Mike Viola, who had a little bit of success with a band called the Candy Butchers in the 90s. He is the vocalist for the particular track. Hanks wrote a couple numbers for the album. Dave Gibbs, who is one of the singers in the Gigolo Ants, who was another like indie rock band or a sort of a power pop band in the 90s and early 2000s. So you have a lot of like talented musicians that were kind of collaborating and making sure that the music, not only that the Wonders music sounded as authentic as possible, but also helping out with creating the songs that were used in the movie and on the soundtrack from the rest of the, what they called the Playtone universe of stars, the Playtone Galaxy. That's what it was. It was Playtone Galaxy. So yeah, I mean, it. You said it. You nailed it. That it's the type of movie. The second that like you see it or you flip past it on TV, it is I'm watching a good amount of this because I know what scene is next. You're familiar with like, you know, the flow of it. It's that it would do that. It would hypnotize my father. Anytime like on a Saturday or a Sunday afternoon, even if football was on, if he's flipping between commercials and he catches like that thing you do on like Comedy Central or like VH1 or something, he's like, gotta watch 10 minutes of this. Game's still going to be there once we get back to it, but we got to watch a little bit of this because it would be basically like, you know, you're going to hear the song, and he would always joke. He would always say, "Song's going to be on in probably about another minute, right before it goes to commercial. They're going to sing the song," and I'm like, "Yeah, they sing the song like 25 times in the movie. Of course, you're going to get that." So yeah, I mean, it's great. It's lost to time a little bit just because, again, you don't have a lot of cable channels that'll play movies from the 90s, but for a while there, for a good 10-year period, this thing was like inescapable on cable television, and justifiably so.
The other thing that I always liked about the movie itself, like being a fan of Tom Hanks, and I am, he is the director and producer of it. The little parts that went to like Peter Scolari's in this movie, who he was buddies with. One of the reporters at the end, he's an Asian actor. He was in the movie Volunteers with Hanks.
Yes,
his wife makes an appearance, like a part.
Oh, she does.
Rita Wilson,
some sort of Rita Wilson.
You get to see a side of her.
Clint Howard.
Yeah, Clint Howard's in it. Like here and there, you just see different actors, and you're just kind of like, "Oh, that's kind of cool that he remembered that." Mm-hmm. Like he put them, it was almost kind of like that. Hey, if I'm gonna do this movie and I'm gonna put my money up, like I'm gonna work with people that I'm
gonna work with my friends. Yeah.
Which as I thought was always kind of cool. That's when you're watching it for the 30th or 40th or 50th time, like you're pointing out like, oh yeah, that dude was in that movie with Hanks. Like, oh, they must, stayed in touch or whatever.
Spot the cast.
Yeah.
Nice.
That was number 3.
All right.
We're gonna go to number 2.
Number two.
2 could be 1. 1 could be 2.
I like this.
It's always tough. A mockumentary that God, is it funny? It's brilliant. It really kind of, for some rock stars, it probably hits a little bit closer to home because it does probably pick at a lot of bullshit that comes along with people who think they're rock stars or when they get a bigger head. The movie is, and the band are the same. Spinal Tap. There's so many things. Like you have to watch. I don't know how somebody could just watch this movie once.
Nope, you miss
because there's so many
jokes.
you have to watch this movie repeatedly just because there's so many funny things that are happening in this. But as as somebody who is a fan of music, this definitely gets into the overindulgence and ego of like a lot of the bands in the 70s, where ridiculous demands, and the guys of it is that like they don't realize how ridiculous they're being, and that's the joke, is that they're being 100% serious and don't realize how ridiculous what they're talking about or the situation or anything. They think it's just a normal way to respond to things, and that is part of the brilliance of this movie. Plus the fact that, what would you say, 90%, 95% of this movie is ad-libbed. I don't know if there really is a script to this.
It does feel very loosey-goosey.
there might have been an outline.
Yeah,
There might have been here's what we're going to do, but a lot of it seems like it was either improvised or maybe even jokes were kind of developed as they were going along. Maybe Puppet Show was written. I don't know.
Puppet show. We got second billing to the Puppet Show. Jeez.
I'm sure maybe like there probably was a band who got lost that couldn't find their way to the stage.
Yeah.
And they probably heard about that, and maybe that was, but everything that went along with that, how they act, like that was all, improvised, and him yelling Cleveland, and they keep on running into the janitor.
Yeah.
It's oh God, it's just such a funny fucking movie.
There's so much to it. There's no and you can't say like, oh, my favorite part is this, because somebody will say, you're forgetting if you say, all right, my favorite part is when they get lost under the stage and, they can't make it up to the stage because they're lost in the annals of the building. Okay, then I present to you while they're sound checking and the record comes and it's just an all black cover and the what the hell, the girlfriend shows up at the same time that the record's there, and David St. Hubbins is kind of going to greet her. Oh, hi, what's her name? Fuck.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, hi, Linda. Oh, smell the gloves here. Smell the glove. Oh, hi, Linda. Smell the glove. There's so many stupid throwaway lines like that, and also all right, so we're here to talk about the fictional band, and we'll obviously spend a lot of time talking about that and how these songs are all sort of kind of parody, ridiculous, but also really fucking good. The cameos and minor characters in this that they interact with for one scene or for a brief moment is just there's gold. Paul Schaefer plays Artie Fufkin, who is he's like an A&R marketing guy for the record label who's setting up an in-store appearance for Spinal Tap while they're on tour, and he puts up the wrong posters, and the famous line, kick a man's ass for him, like Artie Fufkin said, I fucked up, kick a man's ass for him. Fran Drescher, when they go to a Hollywood party, and it's she's Bobby Flackman, you know me. Bruno Kirby is the limousine driver who's got to tote them around, and he thinks he's chatting with him and talking industry, and then they just roll up the window on him and he starts motherfuckering them. Dana Carvey and Billy Crystal are the mime waiters. There's just so much even away from the band, there is so many dumb tangential characters in this movie that it's you're right. You can't catch everything in one viewing of this. This is a repeat viewing. You got to watch it to death, and you've got to listen for every line, joke, reference to bands from the past, and then tell me that Sex Farm isn't a great song.
Big Bottoms.
Big Bottom is awesome.
Talk about fun cakes. My girl's got them.
Right, yeah, I mean, it's
the fact that the scene where he's talking about he starts talking about the guy's guitar solos, and he starts showing the ridiculous he's got a guitar that he's playing, he's got three other guitars that are plugged in, and then he's doing a solo with a violin, where he's rubbing the violin against
and it's
the
not the bow of the violin, it's the violin itself.
And then he takes the violin and puts it up to his ear and starts tuning it because he thinks that the violin being out of tune is affecting the guitar solo, and it's just, and he's kicking the other guitar
strings
for the feedback, and it's just
that's even before all the drummers exploding and all the issues with the litany of drummers that they lost over the years, mostly to horrific deaths, which is, it's a joke unto itself because it's sort of like it makes fun of like the replacement Curlies that they had in the Three Stooges. They had Stumpy and then they had Stumpy Joe. It's such fucking stupid jokes that you're like, all right, like
he died because he choked on somebody else's vomit.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Like,
it'll always make me laugh.
You don't realize it. It's not talked about enough, but people do randomly just spontaneously combust. It happens a lot more than it's just.
Yeah.
The jokes are the jokes and stuff, and the fact that it's delivered straight face.
Yeah. Yeah.
Always makes it, again, when somebody is when the ridiculousness is up on 10, but the person's face is serious. It's like watching an airplane movie.
Yeah. I think I
have all these serious actors, and they're delivering these funny lines, but they're doing it like it's a serious thing, and it's the same thing. Like Christopher Guest, Michael McKean, like they're so funny in this fucking movie.
I think I want to nominate Michael McKean as the godfather of the Fictitious Band role, because we mentioned him in last week's episode. We were talking about Lenny and the Squigtones, and then we have this is Spinal Tap, and then he's in A Mighty Wind.
Yes.
So, yeah, he's. One day we'll put out the Mount Rushmore of Fictitious Band members, and it'll be 3 Michael McKeans, and then,
Christopher Guest, maybe?
Dr. Teeth from Electric Mayhem.
Yeah.
So Spinal Tap. Let's get to number one.
Well, before we get to number one,
okay,
I would like to throw it out there. I hate spoiler alert. Mike knows what my number one is.
Okay, I do. Yes, so, we have a meeting before every episode.
So I'm going to give you the opportunity. Maybe there might be some fictitious bands or movies that may have been on your list that didn't get mentioned.
Let me just. I have 2 or 3 off the top of my head. The first one being Josie and the Pussycats, and it was a flop in the theaters. I feel like I'm saying this a lot about some of these films where they're a flop in the theaters, but they found an audience, a cult audience afterwards. I banged the drum for this movie the second that it came out on like home video. The music's awesome. We mentioned before that Adam Schlesinger and Dave Gibbs collaborated on the Thing You Do soundtrack. They come back around with even more heavy hitters for the Josie and the Pussycat soundtrack. So they're writing songs with Adam Duritz co-wrote one of the songs. You got Kay Hanley from Letters to Cleo. She was actually the singing voice of Josie on the soundtrack and in the movie. Babyface produced the record. Kenny Edmonds, that Babyface. So yeah, you have a lot of people behind the scenes that are putting together.
Gambino, the gangster.
Yeah. So again, it really is a satire of the early 2000s pop scene, where they're just sort of like they're lining bands up. They hear them, an A&R guy signs them to a label, and immediately they're the biggest band. Before they even tour, they already have like a pay-per-view concert that's scheduled, and they're in constant rotation on MTV, and they're on Carson Daly. And the plot of the movie is there are subliminal messages that are being fed through the Josie and the Pussycats music to make kids want to buy stuff, and then eventually it's determined, spoiler alert, it's determined that the government is trying to get them to join the army through the subliminal messaging. So it's based off of the Archie's comic book and the whole Archie's universe, where Josie and the Pussycats were kind of like a band in that world and would run into Archie's from there, but it's expanded. I know they had a cartoon in the early 70s that was based on it, where they were going to outer space and bullshit like that. But this is more like of the time they took it. Maybe that's the reason why it didn't really hit, because maybe they were making fun of something that was still at the industry peak at that time. But there's so many... Again, it's another funny movie that you kind of have to watch a couple times to understand most of the jokes and the references that they're making. The music kicks ass. It's one of the greatest soundtracks of all time, and I'm not being hyperbolic with that. The fucking soundtrack rocks. It, as the kids say today, it slaps. Or they were saying at least like 10 years ago that it slaps. But it's a monster soundtrack. Can't say enough about it. So that's one that I always put in the great fictional bands of film. Elsewhere, I'm surprised you didn't mention this because you're a Star Wars guy. But the old Cantina Band is a great fictional, unless they're real people, I don't know, but like that's a great fictional part of an otherwise like science fiction and fantasy movie. It's the scene in the cantina where they're sitting there trying to negotiate with Han Solo, and in the background you hear this like kind of zippy, almost like a ragtime, like yep, and then the collection of monsters that happens to be playing, or aliens that happens to be playing this, are like kind of a scary troupe, which makes sense because bands are usually made up of some conglomeration of scary people. But they're playing away. This, I guess it comes out in the Star Wars canon that they weren't just called the Cantina Band, because they're listed on the original soundtrack of Star Wars, the score album that came out. This song was on there, and they're listed as the Cantina Band or Cantina Song, whatever it is. But in the Star Wars universe, the band is actually known as Figrin Dan and the Model Nodes. And Figrin Dan is an all-time name for anything. I will go to bat for if a band comes out today and they want to play music and get my attention, call your band Figrin Dan, and I'm with you. I'm right there. That you have my attention. But the song was actually the Cantina Band song was actually released as a single with the B-side, or like reverse A-side, B-side, with the Star Wars disco track, the disco version of the Star Wars main theme title. And it actually charted in 77 and 78 when the mania of Star Wars was at its peak. So there's a little tidbit for you. So let's pivot now back to number one.
Well, before I get to number one.
Okay.
I want a quick shout out.
Okay. Go ahead.
One, if there was a number 11, this movie and this band could have easily been in my top 10 because I love the movie. I think I wind up not leaving it out because they do primarily covers.
Okay.
And I wanted to include bands that actually put in the time or whatever to write original music. But the movie and the name of the band is The Commitment. I love that movie.
Yeah.
The scenes where the guy who plays the manager is having a fake interview with Rolling Stone magazine while he's in the tub, and his brothers and sisters are banging on the door, and he's like, "Fuck off! I'm being interviewed." Always made me laugh. The father, who is like totally into Elvis,
right?
It's a brilliant movie. It could have easily been in my top 10. I just wanted to give it a shout out.
Okay.
Yeah. And of course,
did Wilson Pickett show up to that gig yet?
No. Well, he could have been in a limo. You never know.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And of course, always a shout out to my favorite Russian rocking band, Fuck You Yankee Blue Jeans, and their song Berserker.
It's too bad you never saw them. You just heard them.
My love for you is like a truck berserker.
Yeah. Fuck your Yankee blue jeans or
Did he
something.
did he say making fuck? But no. Number one,
It's the Jolly Green
uh,
Giants.
maybe it's the shitty Beatles. Are they any good?
No.
Probably. I don't think I don't think I'm going out of line when my favorite music based movie of all time. The movie is Almost Famous by Cameron Crowe.
Yep.
The fictional band in it is Stillwater.
Yeah.
I love this fucking movie. It's definitely my favorite music based movie. It may be in my top 10 of favorite all time
movies. Yeah.
If you're into rock music and you're especially of a certain time, there was this. If you didn't grow up in it, you look back on it and you always like, man, it was like romantic. The freedom that people had, like you always heard of like kids who were 13 were going to Led Zeppelin concerts and like just all this, like there just seemed to be this like openness and freedom and love for the music, and everything just seemed to, it was like the height of everything. And it's kind of referenced in the movie that, like, eventually the music business just kind of kills rock music.
Mm-hmm.
And in some ways it is true. But the director, Cameron Crowe, it's loosely based on his life. He was an accelerated child who graduated high school, I think, when he was 15 or 16 years old, was a writer for Cream magazine.
Yep.
And eventually get tired and was like a teenager writing for Rolling Stone magazine. And he was interviewing and covering some of the biggest acts in the 70s. And this movie kind of taps into it with this fictional band, Stillwater. And it's just everything that you love about music, everything that I love about music, from even the tiniest thing of like when you go to a show and they bring the lights down and the band's coming out, and how like your focus, you instantly go from whatever conversation you were having with the person next to you, and everything stops. All your focus is on the band and what are they gonna, like, what's the first song they're gonna play, like everything. Like he captures all of it tremendously. The band, which features Jason Lee as the lead singer, Jeff Beebe, and Billy Crudup as the guitar player, Russell Hammond. The joke is, or the thing is they're like a mid-level band on the way. They could either become the next big thing, or they're going to burn and crash.
Right.
You got a front seat to everything that goes along with, them in a tour bus. They're fighting amongst each other. There's jealousy because Billy Crudup's character is considered to be the talent in the band, and the rest of the guys, there's resentment. Like, everything that was like back storylines of a lot of bands in the 70s. All get kind of molded into this one band, but it's an entertaining movie. If you like music, or especially rock music, it definitely taps into the freedom, the romanticism of that time. The performances in it are brilliant.
Yeah.
Philip Seymour Hoffman as
Lester Bangs.
Lester Bangs.
Yeah.
He steals every scene that he's in.
Yeah.
Just as Jason Lee totally captures like that pompous front lead guy, who's kind of like has that, like, his ego can't take the fact that, like, he's not the leader of the band that,
Yeah.
Russell Hammond is. I believe Kate Hudson, this was her breakout role, and I think she was
nominated for an Oscar. Yeah. I think she won the Golden Globe.
Golden Globe, but nominated for
an Oscar for it. Yeah.
The music in the movie that's written for this fictitious band includes Nancy Wilson, Peter Frampton, Mike McCready from Pearl Jam does a lot of the guitar work, the solos and stuff for the song. So it has that, like, he taps into that that old, like, that Zeppelin style.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
But you have got, Frampton obviously lived the 70s. Nancy Wilson was, Cameron Crowe's wife at the time, so
right.
But she was also a part of the 70s scene, helped capture.
Yeah.
Especially in the scenes where they're performing live. I thought that's what it was probably like seeing bands like in the 70s at that time. But I just there are no, like, I gotta get through this scene. Like, every scene in this movie is just I even enjoy the director's cut that has, like, the extra 15 minutes in it.
Yeah.
Which sometimes, if you watch it, like, on either regular TV or Sundance or something like that, we'll throw it on. The regular TV, they add it on there so that it fills out for commercials or whatever. But it's just I think it's Cameron Crowe's best movie, and I love this movie. And Stillwater is my number one.
It's well worth it. And again, just we mentioned that Academy Award nominee Kate Hudson, but also I believe the score or, like, the adapted soundtrack. So the soundtrack for the movie, like, won an Oscar. So nothing, everything. It's the portrayal of that band. It may be over the top. You see elements of, like, the excess, the scene where he takes a bunch of drugs. He walks away from the band after a, particularly traumatic show. They're fighting over merchandise. They're fighting over little things throughout the whole thing. But, I'm a Golden God. Like, some of that stuff is, like, based on, and that's why Cameron Crowe is the perfect person to, like, put this movie out, because some of that stuff is based on, like, real interactions, and it's an amalgam of different tours that he was on for periods of time when he was in his teens and his early 20s. But there's a spirit to the movie. There's certainly an energy to it that it doesn't let you down. It gives you enough of the, like, even the cliches of rock and roll, but it makes the cliches of rock and roll cooler than probably 90% of the other rock movies or rock TV shows. Every other movie that's made after this is playing catch up. If they're doing a depiction of a rock and roll band from the 70s, or a classic rock and roll band, and they're, it's a period piece in that element, every other production about music is playing catch up to Almost Famous and what Cameron Crowe did. And to be honest, I think you're right. The stage performances and the even the banter amongst the band off stage looks like it's about as authentic as it can get. Like, there has to be so much praise given to Cameron Crowe for saying, like, hey, we're not going to make this, like, it's not over the top where it's like, oh, they have 4 different dressing rooms and they're on 2 different tour buses and, and they can't even, like, speak to each other. Like, they're showing them, like, having some camaraderie in the locker rooms and in the, the backstage area and stuff like that. So those are certainly elements that make this a top tier music movie. And you're right, the soundtrack and the Fever Dog song itself kicks fucking ass. It's really awesome. All the songs on the soundtrack I know there was a deluxe version of the soundtrack that the original soundtrack that was out, I think, was like 15 songs that were used prominently in the movie that they could get the rights to and they could sell originally. But they did put out like a deluxe version of it that had more of the like songs that were briefly used in the film, and also like snippets of more of the Stillwater tracks that were not fully produced, but that were used on some of the stage scenes. So yeah, I mean, it's a pretty flawless music film. I'm not surprised that it's your number one when it comes to Stillwater themselves. Super cool, and yeah, I mean, good choice, and a good way to end this special pre-birthday episode, 4th of July pre-birthday episode for you.
Here's how good Almost Famous is. Jimmy Fallon's in it,
and I don't hate that.
And yeah, and I almost dare say that he's good, like, or that he doesn't ruin it.
Yeah, right.
There's also a lot of like little, Mark Maron has a part in it.
Mm-hmm.
The guy who played Cam, in what's that show? The Al Bundy show. He's got it. Like Frances McDormand is excellent as the mother. It was the first time I saw Zooey Deschanel.
Yeah.
I think that was her breakout role. So, yeah, just a well-acted, well-written, well-directed everything type of movie. So that's my number one. I'm sticking to it, and yeah, let's get the cake out.
Let's get the cake.
You got a cake, right?
Where's the cake? The cake is coming. There's a cake coming.
Oh, I know what you did. You put the candle, like, I'll blow out the candles, but they don't go out. Like, there's
one of those, yeah.
Candles.
Yeah.
Know. Yeah, I know.
I hired Randy Watson is going to come and pop out of the cake.
Oh, what about Sexual Chocolate?
So, Sexual Chocolate will show. They'll show up and they'll form afterwards after he gets out of the cake.
Thank you very much.
Sexual Chocolate.
You're lovely people. Give yourself a round of applause.
Yeah. It's the best. All right. Boy, I wish I could play that as our outro song, but I'm actually going to. We used a song from the Wayne's World soundtrack, which we didn't talk about, Crucial Taunt, because I don't know if they were very good. But we're gonna outro with Fever Dog from that. From the Almost Famous soundtrack, as we get out of here. Crank this up on your 4th of July weekends. It's Americana. You know exactly what you're getting into after you hear the first few drum hits and bass roll into this one. So
what are you listening to? Fever.
Oh, Stillwater.
Kids on drugs.
Kids on drugs. All right. So once again, happy pre-birthday to the captain and to America. From
America, fuck yeah,
fuck yeah. We hope you guys have a great weekend. Be safe. Don't blow your hands off. No missing fingers for the 4th of July. Be careful with your fireworks. Leave it to the professionals. Don't start a fire in your yard just because you want to see the color green in the air. And when we come back to next week's episode, my recommendation, let's talk vacations. The good and the bad of vacations. How's that sound?
Like the song by the Go-Go's?
Nope. No, we could talk about that. Oh,
you mean actual vacation?
I'm talking about summer trips and summer vacation, or even like all year vacations.
Let's review all of the vacation movies. Dr. Papa Giorgio.
We're gonna talk a lot about vacation, what makes vacations fun and exciting, and sometimes what makes vacations annoying and cringeworthy. So that'll be next week's episode. So for the birthday boy, the captain, on his end, this is Mike Madden on my end. Hope you guys have a great night. Listen to some Stillwater and cry yourself to sleep.